Liverpool versus everybody. We are back. And we have a good friend of mine I haven't spoken to in a while. Cam, what's up, man? How you feeling?
Feeling amazing, man. What a season, what a win, what a way to cap it off. Solid golden boot, I don't know, couldn't have gone much better to be honest.
Yeah, man. I'm just happy, man. And I had a funny feeling that Newcastle would do what they did as well. I still wanted to get the win, of course. I know all we really needed was a draw, but to finish it this way, and get it on the last match of the season, not where we wanted, but we did it, and to do it in that form and that way was really, really lovely to see. I just thought it was a great performance from everybody. And to be honest, if everybody's watching the game, I'm sure you would know that we could have won that game maybe 7 or 8-0, and that's just being honest. It's not even like a exaggeration. Um, so, who were some of your standouts today? Besides Salah, like who were you surprised at all by the people who scored goals? Did you think Solanke would get one?
No, I was really hoping that he did, and I think he had a pretty solid performance. He was in the build up play. He was being physical, kind of brought that aspect into the game that we kind of really don't have up top. And I know that people have been on his ass all year about him not being good enough as a backup, and I think I like that he ended the season on a high note. I thought that was really good. I think Robbo was outstanding on that left wing. He knew when to bring it forward, when to come back, when to get up, when overlap, finding really good balls, winning tackles. Just it was all around performance. Good by those two. And then Lovren, he was just nitty gritty in there, just winning tackles, getting up for headers, and scoring that beautiful header unmarked in the box. Kind of got kind of got way up there and finished it nicely. So I think those are a couple standout performers for me. I thought that it was really good, and it'll be really good going into the Champions League final for those players' confidence. Maybe I mean Solanke's probably not going to feature in that game. Maybe like late in the game if we need some long balls to go forward and win it and bring them down or whatever. But I think it's tremendous for Robbo, tremendous for Lovren. I think he's one of the players on the team that's going to need that confidence going into that Champions League final more than anybody getting that goal. So those are a couple of players. And on your comment about Newcastle, I thought it was hilarious that Conte's been rotating some players in the last two games where they're like must-win games and kind of saying a fuck you to Abramovich, and he's probably going to get sacked. He doesn't really care. So I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah. And then on another note with the result today, I know we only needed a draw, but I think this is the perfect way to send them off into the Champions League final. I was thinking earlier, if we draw or lose this game, they don't go into the Champions League final with as much confidence.
Mm.
And I was thinking to myself, either we win both games, Brighton in the Real Madrid game, or we lose both games. And that's kind of where I was at. So hopefully that's kind of the position that we end up in. So
Yeah, no, that was a great summary, man. So many things there. I can't help but say when I saw Lovren get that goal, I was thinking of White Man Can't Jump because this dude got up so damn high. I'm like, me and my son were looking at it like, wait, really? And so you make a good point of if there's any player who needs that bit of confidence in himself going to that game, because we know the stories will be, oh, Liverpool can get at Real, but they can also get at Liverpool because of Lovren. It won't be anything else. It'll be just Lovren. If you attack Lovren, that's how you get success. So yes, I totally agree. He definitely needs that. He needs that momentum or that confidence to going into the game. And I want to see more of him doing that, attacking the box like that. We know Van Dijk can do it. He's done it. He's scored from it. He's had other chances where he could have scored from it. But I want to see more of Lovren doing that because I know he has it in him. And it's amazing that Lovren will go kind of just he'll be himself for so long, and then he'll pop up in a game like this that's very important and score a goal. He did it against Dortmund. He did it again here on a game that a lot was riding on. So people can't really gotta take that. They can take that highly, man. We can't take that lightly. That's a huge, huge, huge goal for him. And then again, like you said against Solanke, I think a lot of people are doubting him. Even if you just look on Twitter, people are saying, "Why aren't we starting Ings instead?" Which I think Ings, Solanke, whoever you pick, let's be honest, neither one of them really give you that much confidence or have it until this point. So to see him get a goal and an assist and be involved in a lot of things we were doing is really, really good for him. So I'm really, really happy and proud of Solanke for doing that. But just overall, again, Robertson just continued to show how amazing he is. Some of the passing he was doing, even Van Dijk, even Hendo. I mean, some of these passes were just amazing when you thought, oh, that's going to be too long. But then, Trent would catch up to it or Robinson would catch up to it. So he did really good.
That pass from Van Dijk all the way down the sideline,
oh my God, man.
split in three different lines of defense, and Trent gets all the way into the corner. That's like
that was ridiculous.
That's a Gerrard-esque ball, just pinging it. So beautiful. And it's coming.
Yeah. I mean, it was amazing, man. It was amazing. And again, I saw a lot of good things today. Having 2 results back to back against Stoke or in the league against Stoke and Chelsea, Stoke, and West Brom, you can say, not winning in those games. Not that I was worried, but I said, you know what? This is the last game of the season. I really want to see something from this team. And they showed me from the first kick. Really, I mean, we dominated that team. Like I said, if we had some calls go against us, or just not called in general. I mean, it was a high boot, a handball, a foul in the ball. It was so many things. And a team with a weak mentality could hang their heads, but this team kept fighting. Even Mane had some moments there. It just wasn't going off for him, but he kept smiling, kept fighting, and we beat them convincingly. It was never even a question, wasn't a doubt in my mind. So that was good to see. And so it's a really good tune-up, if you will, for the Madrid game. And it's a really nice send-off from the fans. The fans sang all game. It was beautiful. The weather looked nice out there. The pitch was beautiful. It's just a really, really good day to end the season. If Leicester would have been a little bit better, we could have gotten third. But,
what a crazy game.
That game was wild. It was like every 5 minutes, the commentators here were saying, oh, Spurs scored again. I'm thinking he's got to be joking. It was like every 10 minutes, it was another goal. So, but it is what it is. This game was in our hands and our Champions League lives as far as solidifying that for next year was in our hands. We did it. Chelsea didn't do the job. But to speak on that manager real quick, it's really weird, like you say, how he's rotating like that. I mean, that's the severance package he's going to get. I mean, he's clearly saying, I don't give a damn to the club, to the fans, to the players, the owner. And that'll be interesting to see if they even keep him on, because I think they're in the FA Cup final, right?
Yep. Yeah, they got one more game, and that's what some commentators were talking about. Like, they wouldn't be surprised if he got sacked and they got like a kind of interim manager for that last game, just the way he's kind of rotated and handled his squad. And even in the press conferences, Conte is just giving no confidence to anybody, just kind of there, ready to leave, basically. So, that'll be really interesting to see if they do replace him.
I saw the little how they doing NBC Sports at NBCSN. They do like the little interview of the manager in the tunnel, and he was asking them questions, and he was kind of just like, yeah, I don't know, we'll see what happens. Like he had no kind of faith in the team or nothing. He just seemed pretty defeated. So when your manager's going to a game like that, then I mean, I didn't see the Newcastle game and Chelsea game for obvious reasons, but nobody's really fighting for that coach, and to be defending champions or to be the champions of last year and come in and play like that, it's got to be pretty sad for them. But enough about them. I'm going to talk about Mane real quick, and obviously when he has situations like that in games where he should have passed or he misses what you would normally call a sitter. People like to slate Mane. I think that he was really good today, and I think it wasn't for the lack of trying. He was in and around everything we did, trying to get things going forward, being positive. Do you think? So let me take you back to the moment where he could have squared the ball to Firmino. He doesn't. He takes the shot. He misses it. Mm-hmm. Do you think that's in his mind on that second chance where he kind of delays the pass for Salah and then Salah misses it? Do you think he's forgotten that Salah had broke the record and he's still trying to facilitate the Salah? What is your thinking about Mane today, just as a whole, his performance?
Well, I thought he performed really well. He was dropping into the middle, receiving the ball, turning it, finding some passes, and I think that's kind of always been his kind of letdown this year is like that final product. Like he's maybe not the most clinical finisher on the team. But the thing is, it's like he's creating so much from deeper in the field, like we say that Bobby does too. So I think he had a really good performance, and it's just kind of that end product. But I don't know if he was thinking about getting Salah more goals to maybe even break the 42 game record.
Oh, right.
He had 38. He needed 2 more to tie that or whatever. So yeah, no, it's just a little weird, but I mean, in the end, he's still got 19 goals and 7 assists, and this year he's been extremely huge for us. And yeah, I don't have any problem with what he's doing. It's just getting that final thing. So we got one more game, and hopefully he capitalizes on the chances he gets in the Real Madrid game, because they're going to be there. Both teams are going to create chances. So I guess it just kind of comes down to who takes their chances and who finishes them. So
just to think that we got 3-4 guys with double digits. Even Salah is one thing that kind of goes under the radar. He's double digits in goals and assists. That was his 10th assist today. That he had to. Did he assist Solanke? I think he assisted Solanke.
Yep,
so that's double digits in both categories. So that's big. That's good. And you got to believe this team is going to be ready. Everything we've gone through this season, teams we weren't supposed to beat, especially in Champions League, and coming out shocking people and doing that and doing it in pretty good fashion. So I'm sure like you are as well. Very, very much so. Looking forward to this Champions League final. Is there anything about the formation you saw today, or anybody who isn't normally in the starting 11? Well, I guess we could just say the formation we played today, where we had kind of Mane and Salah hanging back with Firmino and Solanke. Is that something you would want to see in the final, or you think we should go back to our 4-3-3, which has been our typical formation most of the season?
Yeah, I think for sure we're going to go back to the 4-3-3. You're not going to sit Milner out for the Champions League final. They're going to drop Solanke. But I thought for today's game, I thought it was actually really genius, because the last time that Trent was in the midfield, Klein was just kind of taking up his space, and it didn't really work out. So then they drop him back to the right back at his usual position, and then instead of adding another midfielder, we had another forward. And so then we had basically Wijnaldum and Henderson running the double pivot, and so Wijnaldum would really support on the left side, Henderson would support on the right side, and then we just had a really free-flowing attack. So I thought it was really good for a team that's going to sit in against us. Like Brighton kind of did towards the end, maybe a couple, maybe like 20 minutes there throughout the middle. No, but I think they're going to go back to the 4-3-3. They're going to go back to their playing style. Milner, Hendo, Ginny in the midfield, and the front three up top with the wing backs kind of getting up in the attack as well. So that's my prediction. I'd be interested to see if they did anything different. It would really surprise me.
Yeah, I think the word you used for Klopp, genius, was really, really good. We did player ratings in our video earlier, my son and I gave Klopp a 10 just for that. I think the 4-2-3-1 really, really fit good for Solanke, and I think that gave him that bit more confidence and kind of knowing, okay, you know what, I'm a main focal point in this formation, so let me do what I can do to help help this team get this win. Yep. So yeah, I agree. It'll probably be 4-3-3. I don't know why they would change it, but it is something to keep in mind. If the game is going a certain way, maybe Klopp will do that. Now, we know Real Madrid doesn't really sit back. I mean, if they get an early goal, they might try to do something like that, but I can't really see that happening. They are kind of similar to us. Their fullbacks bomb forward, especially Marcelo. So, it'll be interesting to see, but I think that's something to keep in our back pocket against the teams, maybe even next season before we play some of these, bus parking teams or low block teams. That is a way that we can help them, because Solanke does have height, and I think he can get at them that way. So putting that to the side, Brighton getting the win that we needed, solidifying Champions League, that definitely gives us a little bit of relief. We can kind of just exhale and wait for this, which will probably seem like forever, this time in between now and the Champions League final. But that's probably a good thing. I think Klopp's going to be taking the teams to some warm weather place to recuperate and all that. Oh, is it Marabella? Wow, okay. Yeah. I had heard something. I know where exactly it was. So that's cool, because these guys need some rest, man. And we're almost still getting these injuries. I know Mane was supposedly had something. Milner had something small. We lost Gomez, which is tough for Liverpool, and probably more importantly, him representing his country in the World Cup. Same with Ox. So
yeah,
hopefully between now and then, through training and all that, hopefully nothing else happens. No sicknesses or whatever. But I really can't wait for this Real Madrid game. We'll get into that a little deeper as the game gets closer to it. But today I just want to focus on us getting that top four, and just really a round of applause for them, man. They did so good this season. Everything we went through, the ups and downs, assistant managers leaving, players not wanting to be here. I mean, all types of injuries to really key players, and really sad ones. When you think of Ox, how strong he had come on, man, and to lose him like that, trying to make a tackle, that's just, football's unfair, life's unfair sometimes, and that happens. So my wish for Ox is that it's not something that's going to be a hangover. It's not something he's going to now struggle with this. I forget is it a thigh injury, groin? I forget what it was.
For who?
For Ox, what kind of injury was it?
Oh no, it was knee injury. Some
knee, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's not something that's going to really, really hurt him, because I think he's going to be. I know he's going to be a really, really big part of our team next year. So yeah, just really excited, man. Really, really great way to finish the season, and I couldn't be more proud of the team. Just how they're just so battle tested, man. That starts from the manager, and his confidence that he has in the players. We know Salah got the golden boot. It's good to see him with his family on the team, with his flag wrapped around him, holding the golden boot. Good to see the players and their kids and families down there. Just a really, really good moment to have Klopp come up and speak afterwards, and just how proud he is of the team. If you had to say, besides Salah, I know it's a tough one because there's so many players, but who do you think stood out as, I guess, most improved or impressed you the most this season besides, obviously, Salah? If you had to pick one other guy, who was it that stood out for you?
Most improved? I'm in between Robbo. I mean, I guess he wasn't here last season, but kind of him not being involved early on with Moreno having the starting spot. Moreno gets injured. He takes over that starting role and just claims it for the rest of the season. I think that he improved most throughout the season, because like a lot of people in the beginning were like, oh, we don't know if he's going to really cut it at the outside back position for us. Like, it's good that we've got depth, but then he kind of took it full on. He got a goal today, an assist. He's always creating. He's always like, what comes to mind is that press against Man City where he pressed 3-4 players all the way back to the keeper and almost forced a mistake. He's just got that. He's got that desire and that want that I think that can excel him into improving even more. And I think his decision making has improved a lot too. To where in the beginning of the season where he was just sending in crosses, crossing it, but no targets or no real. He's not really picking out a player, but he's kind of chose his passes a little bit more carefully. He's even having people overlap him. He's sending balls down the touch line and towards the goal line. So I think that he's improved immensely and has been really important for the team. And the other one that I was in between was Milner. Milner, a lot of people were saying, oh, he shouldn't be playing in our midfield. He should never start at the beginning of the season. And then look at what he's done, man. He's covering the most distance in Europe. I think he's actually got the top 5 distance covered in Europe, like by a long shot. So that's ridiculous. He just runs.
And most assists too, right?
Yeah, and most assists. So he's covering the most ground by any player. He's getting the most assists. He's not one to pull up for a tackle. He gets stuck in. He's in the ref's ear here and there. Like he's been immense for us. And to be doing that at 32, 33. No, he's 32. Yeah, 32 years of age. To be coming into that kind of form is unreal, to be honest. So. Yeah, I think Klopp did the right thing by giving him a little break this week and giving him like 3 weeks to kind of prepare for Real Madrid to make sure he's up to go and not like a little bit knackered. So,
yeah, a lot of people are saying Milner was great last year though, but I think the important thing is that he was, I think, even better this year and playing in a position that is something he more likely prefers, to be in the midfield. Milner's rolling back the years, man. It's really crazy to see this. And I got to hold my hand up. I was one of those people that said Milner shouldn't be in our midfield. I can admit that. He wasn't a guy. And Henderson, he wasn't a guy. Neither one of those guys were players that I thought, if we're moving forward and trying to win things, these aren't players that are going to do it. But they've definitely shut me up. I mean, they've been really, really important to this team. Even when Henderson sometimes missing periods of games with that heel injury or foot injury he has, whatever. But both of those guys have been huge for our game, for our team. And just to think that Henderson could be lifting up a Champions League trophy at the end of the season is mind-blowing to me. Like, if someone would have told me that, as long as I'm a Liverpool fan, you'll see Henderson one day lifting up the trophy, I would have thought they were crazy. So I mean,
I saw this funny tweet about Henderson lifting the Champions League trophy, passing it back to Firmino and doing a no look celebration because everybody's saying Henderson only passes backwards and sideways.
Ah, got you. Let's hope we see that.
Firmino's gonna celebrate and not look. Oh, I was cracking up.
I often wonder if they ever get word of these things that are said about them, because that would be great if that actually happened. You know, we win and they do exactly that. That would be a nice little shout out to the fans on social media.
I would die. I would laugh so hard.
But you know, same with Firmino. Wasn't his best game. Was his typical self, harrying defenders, in and around things. You know, definitely had moments. Didn't come off for him, but you got to believe that front three. If we can get them to be at their amazing best in that Champions League final, I think Real Madrid are really going to suffer, man. They're going to really suffer. So it's a relief. We finished the season. It wasn't nervy at all, really. And Newcastle handled their business. So it's just great, man. It's just great. As far as my most improved, I said Dominic in the comment section was saying Karius as well, and I agree with him. Karius has definitely improved ever since he's been given the trust of Klopp. He has definitely improved. And I know he's still split amongst the fan base. Some people still think he's not good enough. I still think we need some kind of keeper to come in, even if it's somebody like a veteran like Iker Casillas, somebody to come in to rival him a bit. But I believe that we talked about this a bit on this channel, that I think Karius does deserve to be the starter going into the next season, especially if we win the Champions League, and he's a big part of the reason why we do it. So another clean sheet. You couldn't want anything better for a last game of the season to send guys off. I mean, that was just amazing. So yeah, like I said, we'll be back. Hopefully we can get you back, Canada, to do more of a build up to Real Madrid game.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man, it's good talking to you. Good seeing you. It's been a while. I'll be in touch. Thanks for making time to come on the channel tonight.
Sweet. Up the Reds.
See you, buddy.